Hey guys, what's up? How's the audio? Can you hear me okay? Too loud, too low? Let me know. What up, Snub? Alright guys, if you can, do me a favor and share the link. I'm gonna do the same real quick. Just give me one moment. Any anime circles you guys dabble in? Anybody who you know likes to watch anime or anything like that? Please share it, because I want to get this conversation. I want to get as many voices in this conversation as possible. Okay. Okay, that should be good enough. Alright guys, I can't see the chat right now, so just give me a second. Alright, I'm posting this up on all the relevant sites, so just give me a moment. Alright. So what's up with everybody? How you guys doing today? Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Trying my hand at Fisticuff Skyrim playthrough. Oh, that's awesome. I've done that before. I've done a character that's straight up hand-to-hand combat. I usually play with the Khajiit, though, because they get like a melee bonus, which is nice. Nothing much is new over here. Trying my hand at my first anime discussion stream. Today, I'm pretty much going to talk about some stuff that I have either actively been watching or that I recommend. All of these are coming from my queue on Crunchyroll, because Crunchyroll is what I primarily use. But I believe these shows can be watched in English on Funimation. I don't know how many of them exactly, but most of them should be available to watch. It might not be a definitive number, because just because these shows are in my queue doesn't necessarily mean that I would recommend them right now. But I will try to give you guys as many decent recommendations as I can, or just shows that I just like in general. Let me see here. So I have up my queue right now, and we'll go over some of these in a moment here. But make sure you guys share the link if you haven't done so already before we get started. In the meantime, why don't you guys let me know what your favorite shows are either right now or your favorite show is period. I know favorite show period is sometimes hard to ask because most people don't just have a single favorite, but just let me know. I gotta move it. Alright, there we go. Paranoia Agent, holy shit. Is that actually one of your favorites? I've never heard anybody mention that one. Paranoia Agent is pretty cool, actually. It's creepy as shit, and it used to freak me out every night when I wake up in the morning to that shit, but... basically, it's just Japanese animated cartoons for the most part. Yeah, Paranoia Agent's not a one I hear. I burned the opening onto a CD. That shit's creepy as shit, man. That song used to freak me out. And the opening was creepy as fuck, too. The show was okay. It was a little difficult to follow at my age back then, but once I got older and I figured out what was going on, I was like, wow, that's insane. What up, Mal? Welcome to the stream. How's your day going? Oh yeah, My Hero Academia is one of the best shows out right now. It's definitely, if I had to put it in a list of top 5 probably right now, just like anime that are airing at the moment, then that would definitely be up there, along with Shokugeki no Soma and fucking, damn it, Megalobox. It's difficult to name like just 5 randomly out of nowhere. I don't think so. I mean, I like the fact that the abilities are so random that some of them are even like useless to a certain point, because you could do all the basic shit that you see all the time, but there's a lot of different unique powers that you would never think of in this show, and ways that they use them make them interesting. Some of them are practical, some of them are not, some of them are hero worthy, some of them are not. I think that's interesting that they decided to do it like that instead of fucking making them all, you know, typical basic shit that everybody else has. So I find that part interesting. Everybody's quirks being unconventional. Let me see. Dashboard. Oh, Randy, you are awesome. Thank you, Randy. Randy just donated 200 bucks. Told me happy late birthday reparation, Satsu. Oh, Randy, you're awesome, dude. D Gray Man is a good one. Randy, you're the man, dude. Sorry you guys couldn't see it, but this channel isn't set up the way Satsu 2 Cents is. But thank you very much, Randy. You are awesome fucking sauce. Did you know that already? Have I ever watched Machine Gun Doll? No, I've watched Gunslinger Girl, which is, I would imagine, very different. Toradora is a good anime. Toradora is an excellent anime. That is actually one of my favorites. I love that show a lot. We got a decent amount of people here. Here's a question that's usually polarizing. What do you think of Sword Art Online? I don't mind it, and I definitely don't hate it as much as a lot of other people do. There are things that I hate about the show that other people hate. But the show overall, it didn't, like, the things that other people hate about the show didn't ruin it for me like it did for other people. But yeah, there's some things about that show that I'm like, why the fuck is this bullshit in this show? But it didn't ruin it for me. It just was like, alright, whatever. Yeah, the new Sword Art is fucking awesome. The Gun Gale show? The Gun Gale show is pretty nice. That show is actually fucking... It's pretty fucking interesting so far. I've been watching that. What's up? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. The Dark Angel has arrived. Yes, I totally agree with that, Andre. Definitely more Horizon than fucking SAO. I'll take more Log Horizon over SAO any day. But for some reason that show stopped in its tracks, and I'm a little upset about that because things were just getting interesting. Although they were also starting to not make sense. So I would have liked for them to patch up that and further explain what the hell they were getting to. Serial Experiment Latin yet? Nope. Do you like Darling in the Franxx? I do. I actually like that show a lot. Log Horizon is SAO but better. Well, I guess I can't say SAO better because there's no if you die in this game, you die in real life type of thing. It's more like if you die in this game, you lose memories that you possessed when you lived in the real world. Something like that. You don't die in real life. You just your memories die in real life. Which is pretty fucked up also, but yeah. Okay, so the list that I put together for you guys, even though technically I didn't specifically put this list together for this, but I have been feeling, have you seen, and your thoughts on Hellsing Original or Ultimate? Both of the Hellsings are good. I don't know which one I would consider better because I enjoyed them both. I didn't see that first one though. What is that? Utaware Mono? No, I didn't see that. Okay, so this list right here, like I said, this is my queue of all the shows that I've just been watching over time. There was a lot more in here, but I deleted a lot of shit. I'll probably have to add it back on so I can show you guys. But the first one on the list is Junitaisen Zodiac War. I think I told you guys about this before. But basically, this is kind of a battle royale show about the 12 zodiac signs. Each representative family from the 12 zodiac families send in a representative to fight in a battle to the death in a war that they have in some abandoned city. I don't know if it's every year or every couple years or whatever, but it's pretty fucking awesome. It's very interesting. It's got some good battle scenes and everything like that. Although the art style is a little inconsistent, and the show is pretty predictable because in the intro they pretty much tell you who's gonna die and when. But it's a really good show. It's got some good action, and the premise behind like the stories and shit that they tell, of like every character's backstory and how they became who they are and why, is super fucking interesting. So if you guys haven't seen this show, it is really good. They tackle a bunch of shit, man. Yeah, it's hard to binge anymore, but I do try to get in as many shows as I can. The next one I have on here is Okami-san and her 7 companions, which was a pretty good show. I watched this a while back. Exactly 100% what this show was about, I couldn't tell you. I just remember that it was really good. I think the chick was in charge of some agency and they solved problems. They got hired to solve issues like around the school or whatever, like supernatural issues, and they took care of them. And Okami was like the leader, and it was good. She had these little cute ass things that she had on her fist to fight shit with, which was a pretty good show. Obviously, I have My Hero Academia on here because My Hero Academia is fucking awesome. But if you guys haven't seen Recovery of an MMO Junkie, you need to watch that. Recovery of an MMO Junkie was a show that literally spoke to me as both a gamer and an anime watcher, because it was basically kind of like how awkward it is to be a person who likes anime or video games or whatever, and trying to interact with other people just like on a day-to-day basis. And the chick, she like basically quit her job and stopped doing pretty much anything other than playing MMOs just because she just got sick of everyday life. I don't really read fantasy books. I don't really read books at all. I read manga sometimes, but even that I do rarely. But yeah, this show was good. And basically it's about this dude and this chick. They both play as characters of the opposite sex in an MMO. And they meet each other in real life and find out that, you know, they're not who they say they are in game, and there's a bunch of crazy shit. So if you think that sounds interesting, you should definitely check out Recovery of an MMO Junkie. It is a love story, but like I said, it speaks to me as a gamer. Yeah, kind of like gamers. It's almost pretty close to gamers. The only difference is it's not a bunch of people. It's just a couple. Like, it's not about like a group of friends. It's just this chick and this dude. And they have friends who play the game with them, but they don't really have much to do with the story. Take a look at Piers Anthony Zamp, and you'll see why I am unimpressed with My Hero. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, comparatively speaking, there are probably other shows that are better. I just don't think that the show sucks. Even if I see, like, that's what happens with me, too. Like, even if I see a show that's, like, objectively better, like, Log Horizon is objectively better than SAO, in my opinion. I know I said objectively in my opinion, but it's just a better show. Like, I've known very few people to think otherwise. But that doesn't mean SAO is bad. That just means that Log Horizon is better. Let me see. What else is on here? Black Clover was supposed to be like the new shonen, supposed to be the next Naruto. And I only watched like the first couple episodes, but the main protagonist is unbelievably annoying. This show's supposed to be pretty good. It's about like magic. It's kind of got that Harry Potter thing going on. And like I said, the protagonist is annoying as shit, but the story seems interesting enough. All he does is yell. Like, he just screams all the fucking time, and he's a bratty little asshole. But I hear people say that it gets better. down the line. So Konosuba, yes, Konosuba is definitely as far as comedy shows go. That is probably my second favorite comedy anime because that shit was hilarious. Konosuba cracked me up. Black Clover, like I said, Black Clover is from what I've seen, it seemed to be pretty good, but the main protagonist was lame. He was pissing me off with his annoying bullshit. Let me see, what else? Kino's Journey. I actually did a video on Kino's Journey. If you guys are interested in like a good world building anime, and a story about a character that travels around to different countries that literally exist in like inside their own bubbles, like they have their own laws and rules, and all of them are completely different. This show is the shit. It's pretty awesome. It's a pretty good show. I think I talked about a couple of the places in this show. Like she went to a town where murder was okay. They went to another town that nobody remembers when they leave. There was another place that was like a giant mechanical fucking country that was like mobile at all times and all kinds of stuff. It's very interesting. One of Squishy's favorite shows that I've been watching is Restaurant to Another World. And I like food shows. If you're not into food shows, you're not gonna like this because it's just food porn. That's what the show is. It's literally a bunch of people from an alternate world that doesn't exist on Earth. Like it's an alternate plane, and they're coming to like modern day Earth and finding this restaurant where they're eating like modern human food and just falling in love with it because the food is different where they come from. And it's pretty awesome. It's a pretty good show. I mean, if you like food, if you're into food porn, then it is a pretty awesome show. Because it's just people fucking smashing on food, to be honest. But I really like it. How does anyone find Tokyo Ghoul any good? Because people have different tastes. People like Tokyo Ghoul. It's a pretty good show. It's bloody, it's gory, it's interesting for the most part. Has a bunch of plot holes and it's kind of dumb, but it's an interesting premise of a situation that, you know, most people or other shows haven't really replicated. I don't know. It's interesting. Ronin Warriors? That sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen it. The rest of Fairy Tail is going to start airing this fall. That's another show that I couldn't really get into. Fairy Tail was another show. Let's see what else is on here. School Live is actually really good, too. Do you know Star Driver? Nope, never heard of Star Driver. But School Live is awesome. It's basically a show masquerading as a cute anime girl show of like just like cute anime girls doing cute anime shit. But it's actually a zombie apocalypse show of these girls that are actually living in a zombie apocalypse where everybody they know and love is dead, but they're still at this school just pretending like that is not the case anymore. Well, one of the girls specifically, and everybody else is kind of playing along to keep her sane. But it's basically them trying to survive in a zombie-infested school where death and destruction and blood has actually taken place. But the show is coming from the main protagonist, the girl's perspective, where she still seems to think that it didn't happen. So she's like talking to imaginary people and still addressing the teachers that don't exist and aren't alive anymore. It's pretty fucking crazy, actually. It fucks with your brain a little bit. And it actually is creepy as shit. Like, there are some moments that are genuinely scary and fucking creepy. But like I said, it masquerades, and it has this cute-ass opening and ending that trick you into thinking that it's gonna be all fucking rainbows. It's not. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. This show is terrifying at some parts. But I like zombie anime, and there's not very many good ones out there, so check out School Live if you like something like that. Because that is awesome. Let's see. When supernatural battles become commonplace. Most of the people I tell about this show have never heard of it, but it is actually a really good show. You should let us know when you can Wait, Satsu, you should let us know when you can if a show you're sharing is sub or dub or not. Unfortunately, like, I don't have Funimation up, because Funimation is where you go to watch all the dub stuff. And I don't have a subscription to Funimation, so I couldn't tell you right off the bat which one of these shows are subbed and dubbed. But later on in the description, all the shows that I've talked about today, I will look up and I'll put in the description whether or not you can watch it subbed or dubbed. So that way you guys will know. I don't watch dubbed for the most part. I don't watch them for the most part, but yeah. Because I'm not a super fan of dubbed. I mean, you can do Kiss Anime. I don't care. Whatever you want to fucking watch it on. I use Verve too. Yeah, I do. Also, so technically, I do have Funimation because I use Verve. Sorry, I lied unintentionally. Because I do have Verve. Verve is awesome. If you're going to do Crunchyroll or Funimation or either one of those, if you're going to be paying for anime, then just do Verve. I canceled my Crunchyroll, and now I just do Verve because it makes more sense. You're paying for the same thing and you have access to the same stuff. You just get more shit with Verve for pretty much the same price. Let me see. What else? Yeah, Verve is definitely the best way to go. When supernatural battles become commonplace, the reason that I like this show is because all of these characters randomly ended up with superpowers. But the thing that makes this show so interesting is there is nothing going on in the world. There's no evil to fight. There's no bad guys, no villains, or nothing like that. It's just, they just got powers and they don't know what to do with them. So they're just having fun with these powers every day and trying to figure out new shit they can do with them. But I thought that was an interesting premise because you got these high school students who get these superpowers and they're like really powerful and strong, but they're bored because they don't know what to do with them because there's like nothing happening. There's like no evil to fight or anything like that, so they're just like fucking around every day at school with their powers just to see what they can do. And that show is called When Supernatural Battles Become Commonplace. I don't think that this is... I haven't seen an English version of this. I do believe this is only in Japanese, but I could be wrong, so check it out and see. Yes! Yes! The main character has black flames that don't do a damn thing. He is probably... like, he has the biggest imagination when it comes to powers and has wanted to get, you know, powers and shit his whole life. And finally, they got magic powers and shit, and his does nothing. It's 100% worthless. And it is so funny. Brave Witches is season 2 of Strike Witches. Strike Witches was pretty good. I don't even really know how to explain Strike Witches. Basically, it's these chicks who have the magical abilities, and they have these propellers that they put on their feet, these little mechanisms that allow them to fly, and they use guns and shoot down planes and shit and monsters and all type. It's weird. It's weird as fuck to explain, but it was very interesting to watch. Anime YouTubers, I watch Giguk, I watch My Mother's Basement, I watch Aki Dearest, the Anime Man, fucking Crystalist, or whatever the fuck his name is. There's a couple of them that I watch. Only some I watch regularly. But I go to each one for different things. Let me see, what else? Baby Steps is one of my favorite anime of all time. Baby Steps was one of the most motivating animes I've ever watched. It's about tennis. I know that might throw some people off, but this show is probably one of the most motivational things I've ever watched ever. Like watching this dude go from being a completely unmotivated person who really didn't have anything that he was interested in or cared about, falling in love with tennis and like rising into the ranks and becoming one of the best players out there, by sheer just perseverance, like just trying and deciding that that's what he wanted to do and then going for that shit, was like one of the most inspiring things I've ever seen. Like I go back to this show and check out certain episodes to like get myself back up and running, because this show is probably one of the most motivating things I've ever seen. It's really, really, really good. Yeah, I recommend Baby Steps. Even if you have no interest in tennis, like I didn't at all. Like I'd never watched actual tennis or whatever, but yes, that's the one I was thinking of, Jacob. I'm not interested in tennis at all. I've never been, but watching this show, even though I really wasn't interested in the tennis aspect, it got me interested because it explained things to me, and it was just a good show. It's a really, really good show. Let me see. What else? Konosuba. I think we just talked about that. Konosuba is hilarious. That's all I can really say about this show. It's just fucking funny. It's hilarious. Dude's getting sent to another world. It's one of those otherworld animes. And it's just, everything about it is hilarious. All the characters have these unique problems. Like the main character sucks. He's just terrible. The magic user is a very powerful explosion mage, but her weakness is the fact that she can only use one explosion every 24 hours. Their tank, the chick right here, is a masochist and she loves getting beat. So she's got problems. And then their other friend right here with the blue hair, she's a goddess and she's a total fucking like. She's like super full of herself and thinks that she's the shit, but the people who worship her actually hates her. Yeah, I listen to anime covers every day. Yeah, she only wants to use explosion magic, but because she decided to do that, she learned the most powerful spell you could possibly learn in regards to explosion magic, and she can only do one every 24 hours. So she becomes totally worthless after that. And having a tank that's a masochist who just likes to get the shit beat out of her and she enjoys it, makes for some very unique issues that you would never even think about. And this bitch is just conceited, and because she's so damn conceited, she's annoying and everybody hates her. True tanks are masochistic. Which artists do you listen to? As far as covers go, I listen to how do you pronounce her name? Is it Raon? R-A-O-N, I think. I think that's how you spell her name. She's Korean though, and she does covers. There's a few other people whose names I can't think of right now, but that's the one I've been listening to the most. Let me see. Oh, Kokoro Connect was pretty good. Basically, there's a group of friends in high school who, like, something happened to them and they started, like, exchanging bodies. Like, they would wake up in each other's bodies every now and then. And basically, it's a show about, like, general friendship and, like, relationships and how to deal with that type of thing. And learning how to deal with other people's problems or understanding what other people's positions are and where they're coming from. So they change bodies every now and then, and there's no telling whose body you're going to appear in and what's going to happen when you do. But it's kind of a deep story about, you know, just friendship and being honest with each other and shit like that. It's one of those kind of, it's got a lesson to teach. But it's crazy. It's pretty funny too, but it's actually kind of depressing. So if you don't like being depressed, maybe not. But other than that, it is a pretty good show. Let me see what else. Oh shit, I keep fucking Xing out the chat. There we go. Chunibyo, yeah, that show was pretty decent too, but it was annoying because it took them forever to fucking get to the point where people were like, would y'all just fucking get together already, man? Beyond the Boundary, yes, Beyond the Boundary is good. That's where this girl is from, on the bottom of the screen here. Beyond the Boundary is an excellent show. It had a pretty complicated story. I couldn't tell you exactly what it was about right this moment because it's been a while since I've seen it, but Beyond the Boundary is a fucking good show. Let me see. What else? God damn it. Why do I keep bringing this up? Let me X this out. I keep accidentally clicking that. Kotora-san. This show... This show is almost like... it's almost got that Madoka Magica thing going on. If you guys seen Madoka Magica, you know that show was about some of the cons of being a magic girl. Like, all the shows that come out pretty much treat being a magic girl as some awesome thing. Like, you got these magic powers and you get to do these transformations and you're all cute and you have you can destroy shit and kill shit and it's all fun and rainbows. But Madoka Magica was the what if this shit wasn't as fucking awesome as it looks. Basically, Kotora-san is a show that tackles if you could read people's minds, because that's her power. She can read people's minds involuntarily. Like, she doesn't have to do anything or activate it. She just can hear people's thoughts. And this story is about how fucking terrible that could actually be for a human being. And it is pretty fucking sad. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually really depressing. Like, the first episode is a fucking gut punch. But it is a really good show, and it is really interesting. But basically it just tackles how horrible it is to live in a world where you can hear everybody's thoughts about you. Nobody could ever lie to you because you can always hear what they truly think. You know, and growing up as a kid, her parents thought that she was sick. So she, you know, they fucking treated her like shit. It's a pretty, like I said, it can be pretty depressing at some parts or whatever, but it is an interesting look at how having mind reading powers might not be the greatest thing in the world. So that show was good. Kizunaiver is another body switch anime that I talked about before. And basically there's an organization who created the Kizuna program to try to get people to understand others' pain. So basically these people, they don't necessarily body switch, but they can feel each other's physical pain. So if anything bad happens to either one of these characters, they all split the pain equally. So if somebody gets punched, somebody gets hurt, the pain is split between, I think there were 7? Was there 7? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there was 8. There might have been 8 characters. Yeah, and the pain is actually split through their bodies. And basically they're trying to get rid of war and hatred and stuff. And the premise is, if everybody could feel each other's pain, if everybody in the world could feel other people's pain, then they wouldn't be so inclined to inflict it on others. So that's a good show. Gourmet Girl Graffiti is another food porn show. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, Kizunaiver is what it's called. Or Kizunaiver, I guess that's how you pronounce it. Gourmet Girl Graffiti is another food porn anime, and that's exactly what it is. Like, there's nothing else I can really say about it. It's just food porn. It's these girls that really, really like food, and they're eating it and fucking having orgasmic reactions. That's the whole show. I mean, there's nothing more I can say about that. Akame ga Kill is a assassin anime that's pretty fucking good. And the reason that Akame ga Kill is really good is because they are not afraid to kill off their cast. They have no qualms with killing off every single person in this show. No matter who you like in this show, no matter how much character development they build with these characters or how much they tell you about them, they can die. They can die. This show does not give a fuck about that shit. I'm not gonna say that they all will, because I don't want to give too much away. but they can. Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress was definitely good. That was a good show. What? Wait, wasn't that a movie? Has anybody seen Baka and Test? I watched Baka and Test a long time ago. But I think they just released 2 OVAs for that show. So if you haven't seen it in a while, there's 2 OVAs they just released, or OVAs they just released on Crunchyroll. So go check that shit out. What else? Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Was pretty good. Oh yeah, it was a series. My bad. Yeah. It was a series, you're right. Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon is another kind of otherworld anime. It was pretty good for what it was. Instead of dude being pulled into like another world, their world just works like an MMORPG. Like that's just the world that they live in. And that was pretty interesting. It's about zombies, steampunk, and trains. Pretty much. Pretty much. Golden Time was a good story. It's a slice of life anime. There's nothing like spectacular or action-y about it. But the main character has amnesia. He forgot who he was and what was going on. Like, completely forgot his entire identity and had to kind of start from the beginning. And his friend has this girl who's stalking him that ends up stalking him. Like, his friend basically brushes her off and pushes her onto him. And they kind of, like, fall in love or whatever. And it's, like, this twisted story about this dude who lost his memory, who used to be in love with some other chick. And now he done fell in love with this new chick, but the other chick still remembers who he used to be. So she's, like, fighting through this, trying to figure out how to remind him who he used to be. And he has these random flashbacks that kind of remind him of who he used to be, but not really. It's weird. It's a fucking weird-ass kind of convoluted show about memory loss and fucking romance. Ever watch Clannad? Clannad was the first show that ever fucking almost made me cry, man. Although, not the original. The original Clannad was kind of dragged out. Even though it was interesting and I watched the whole show, it was a little boring at times and just, like, drug out quite way too long. But After Story fucked me up. Claymore was good. I did watch Claymore, by the way. You guys know how I feel about Food Wars. If you're not watching it, you need to be watching it. Why isn't Fighting Foodons on your list? Dude, this ain't fucking WB. Fighting Foodons is old school, man. That's some old school shit right there. I watched that show a lot when I was growing up. I don't even know where you can watch it now. Can you watch that shit on Kiss Anime? I have no idea where to even find it. I have Erased on this list, but I haven't watched it yet. But I hear Erased is pretty good. Let me see. Engaged to the Unidentified was also really good. Ultimate Muscle, yeah, that shit was crazy. Engaged to the Unidentified is a comedy, and it's almost as funny as Konosuba. It's right up there with Konosuba. Hilarious show. I can't explain it to you guys. Basically, I can't explain it. You'll have to check it out. Just know that it's hilarious. It is. If you like Konosuba, you'll probably like this show because it's funny as hell. Celestial Method is basically Anohana. Like, this show is pretty much Anohana. The only difference is I don't think the girl in question died. I think she just disappeared. Celestial Method literally is Anohana in a completely different setting with a completely different set of circumstances. But if you enjoyed Anohana, you would definitely like this show because it's really good. It's one of those kind of heartwarming people trying to remember a friend that they once lost that they forgot a long time ago type of situations. Good show. Really, really, really good show. Your Lie in April was amazing. Yes, it was. It was super sad, but it was a good show. Your Lie in April was probably it's probably one of my favorite music shows because I really like the music that was in that show, like classical music and stuff. And it was also pretty inspiring. That was another one of those shows that kind of inspired me. Blast of Tempest is another show that I have on this list. This show is like, it's basically Hamlet. It's almost like Hamlet, I guess. Uh, but like an anime version of it. It's really good. It's hard to explain, but it's got a lot of action. The story is like really confusing because there's a lot of time travel shit involved in this show and all these weird powers that have little to no explanation. But the show was interesting enough, and it's a mind fuck show. Like there's a lot of points in Blast of Tempest that blew my fucking mind when I was 100% certain that I knew what was happening, and then they were like, "Nope, bitch, you were way off," and I was like, "Holy fuck." Blast of Tempest is a good show. Girls Bravo, yes, I've seen it. I've seen Girls Bravo. Who hasn't seen Girls Bravo? Another. Another is basically anime fucking it's basically the anime version of Final Destination. I don't know if you guys have heard about Another, but basically somebody who was very popular died in their classroom, and the student Black Bullet was pretty good. Why'd I pass that one up? Yeah, Black Bullet was pretty interesting. Oh, because I don't really remember what this show is about. Basically, there are these kids that are paired with these are they mercenaries? What was this show about again? I can't remember exactly what it was about. All I know is all these people who... Wait, what the fuck was this show about again? I remember it was awesome. All the little girls paired with their fucking partners and shit were awesome, and they were all badass. I just don't remember what the fuck this show was actually about. What the fuck was this show about? Anyway, Another was awesome. Another was really good because basically they pretended like the girl in class who died didn't die, which opened up the room to the dead and started making other people die because the classroom was trying to compensate for the extra person. And the show is to figure out who's the extra person that's actually dead so people can stop dying. Basically. Gunslinger Girl is pretty good. Yeah, Gunslinger Girl was awesome. No, but this show is similar. This show is similar to Gunslinger Girl because they have partners. It's just magic. There's magic and shit involved in this show. It's not just guns. But Gunslinger Girl was also good. Ano Natsu de Materu. This show is kind of close to Anohana also. The only difference is the chick in the show, the main love interest or whatever, is like an alien. Like she just like fell from outer space and shit. And it's kind of your group of friends who all secretly love each other, but none of them have the balls to actually say it. And as the show progresses, feelings start to come out about how they actually feel about each other, and it starts a whole bunch of drama because this person loves that person who also loves this person, but this person likes that person, and it's one of those fucking shows that's a clusterfuck. But the reason that I like it is because it actually has a definitive ending, and instead of everybody going their separate ways and nobody figuring out who liked who and why, like, it all gets settled. Like, every single person in the show settles their shit, and it ends very definitively. That's unheard of for these shows, because usually they end very unsatisfying, and nobody says anything about how they actually feel, and then the show ends where it begins, and that pisses me off. But this show actually has a definitive ending, and everybody gets their shit out and knows the truth by the end of the show. And it made it a lot more enjoyable, because I thought it was gonna go nowhere, but it didn't. So, if you like love stories of a group of people that actually end somewhere, then check that out. Kaze no Stigma was okay. That show was alright. I don't remember it being particularly great. I just remember it being okay. Madoka Magica I have on here. Beyond the Boundary, somebody asked me about that before. Beyond the Boundary is good. Testament of Sister New Devil. This show is perverted as fuck. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it's about. FYI, that is not his actual sister. They're not related by blood or anything at all. He just met her, his father told him to protect her, and now he calls her his sister. But this show is perverted as fuck. Like, straight up perverted. I know there's some perverts in here. You ain't gotta say shit out loud. But The Testament of a New Sister Devil, if this is your shit, go check it out. Because this shit is some high school DxD type shit. But almost worse. Like, it's almost worse than high school DxD when it comes to perverting. So, if that's you, just write it down. You ain't gotta say shit. Check it out. Check it out later. The Pet Girl of Sakura So was another slice of life anime about a girl who was a artist, like a really, really good artist, like world-renowned artist, but she just wanted to draw manga. Not like Kiss Exis. It wasn't like that show at all. The Pet Girl of Sakura So is awesome. That show is really good. And that's another show about people who have dreams and things that they want to shoot for, and things just not working out for you in life, and figuring out how to deal with that. Because this dude wants to be a game developer, and every time he goes in to try to do it, it just doesn't work out. There's another girl in the dorm who wants to be a voice actor, and her shit just ain't working out. The girl who I told you guys that's an artist, she wants to be a manga artist, but her parents won't let her because they say she's way too talented to waste her time on manga. So she's got some inner turmoil that she's dealing with. Like, all the characters have their problems. And the show is just about them living together and all trying to work through the issues that they're having. And it's fucking good, man. That was a really good show. As a matter of fact, it's been a long time since I've seen it, so I might actually watch it again, because I haven't seen it in a long time. Let's see what else is on here. All the rest of these shows I haven't finished. Watamote I didn't finish, even though this show is pretty funny. Oh, my little brother must have... Okay. Yeah, I didn't finish this show, but I guess my little brother did. Because he has my... He's got my Crunchyroll or whatever, so he must have finished this. But basically, this girl thinks she's hideous. I mean, she's not really cute. She's kind of... She is kind of fucked up looking. And it's her coming to terms with the fact that she's not the greatest looking girl ever, and she's just trying to get through life. She's very negative about her looks, and if anybody calls her cute or anything, she doesn't believe it. So it's basically a show about her just coming to terms with, like, I'm not a cute girl, and I'm trying to fucking deal with it, and she's like super depressed and miserable. It's kind of fucked up, but it's interesting. It's an interesting and funny show. The rest of these shows, I'm not sure about. 1 Week Friends, I put this on my list because it looked interesting. Man Girl, I have no idea what the fuck this is about. It just looked interesting. Battle Girls, I saw titties. That's pretty much the extent of why I clicked that one. Kill la Kill is interesting. Everybody knows about Kill la Kill. I feel like I shouldn't have to talk about that one. I don't even know what this is. I have no idea what this is. There are shows on here that I haven't watched. Like this. What is this show? Why did I put this on my list? What is this? BBK? I have no idea what this is. It looks interesting enough. Maybe I'll have to watch this. It seems like they got the cel shaded thing going on. This doesn't look like fully animated. This looks like cel shade. Yeah, but that's pretty much my queue. Or at least that's what I have in my queue. Which show got weird? The BBK one? It looks like it's a mech anime? It almost looks like a mech anime. I'm not a super fan of mech animes, but I did watch Eureka 7, and I am watching Darling in the Franxx, so I don't hate mech anime. I just don't typically watch them. Here, let me see. Yeah, it's got some weird powers and stuff. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll have to check that out. I mean, I guess I put it on my list for something. Now, there's fuck tons of shows that you guys can watch. I only covered what was in my queue right now, and I'll make sure that I write them down so I know which ones that I covered, so we won't go over them again. But these are my recommendations right here. This video is going to stay up if you guys ever want to go back and look. And I'll also write down the name of each one of these shows down in the description so you guys can re-look at it and check it out again. But yeah, this is a pretty good lineup, and there's some variety in here because you got slice of life, you got food porn, you got a lot of heavy action anime, you have shit that's related to gamers, like if you like games, you got traveling anime in here. There's a whole bunch of different things you can watch. Classroom of the Elite. I haven't watched this, but it did look interesting. Like, the premise looked like it was really good. I guess it's a school full of students that are all fucking geniuses, and they have to all, like, remain above a certain standard in order to stay in this school or something like that. Let me see. Netsuzo Trap. I don't know what this is either. But this also looked interesting, so I put it on my list. I'm not sure what this show is about. A high school girl, Yuma, finds herself going further with her long friend, Hotaru, than she does with her boyfriend. Oh. Oh, this is one of those shows. Uh-oh. Yeah, this sounds like some drama right here. Yeah, this sounds like some drama. Gotcha. The only mech anime... I still haven't seen all of Gurren Lagann. People keep telling me to watch it, but I have not had the patience to sit down and do so. I do plan on doing it at some point. Just haven't seen it. So, have you guys anything on this list that you think you're going to check out based off of what I've showed you and the explanations I've given? I've tried to give the best explanation I can, but a lot of these shows I've seen a long time ago. So is there anything on this list in particular that you think you're going to check out? Because there are definitely some things on this list that were so good I actually want to revisit them. Especially the ones that I haven't seen in quite some time. Because a lot of these shows are really, really, really good. There's some top contenders on this list. Especially Anohana, Another, Black Bullet, Blast of Tempest. Let me see here. Juni Taisen, Zodiac War. Stunlock, I think you would like this show. The Zodiac War one. I think you'd be interested in that. Blade Dance of the Elementalers. Oh, let me see. There's a lot of shows that aren't on this list that I like a lot. There's a lot of shows that aren't on Crunchyroll that I like a lot that I haven't talked about. Yeah, Juni Taisen was really good. Zodiac War. I think you would enjoy that one. If not, make sure you let me know so I can get a good feel of what you guys like, what your tastes are. Because I get a lot of people asking me for recommendations, and I only can give it based on what you've told me you've seen and you liked. I can give you something very similar. Yeah, I still haven't sat down and watched Trigun. I'm sorry. I do believe I've seen a few episodes. Just not a lot. Oh, Anime Gataris was good too. Why'd I skip this show? This show was pretty good. This is one for all the anime fanatics or whatever. Basically, it's a group of anime fanatics who created a group or whatever, or a club in their school. You know, just about anime, and they all have like different viewpoints or whatever. One girl likes anime, the other one likes manga. The one dude's like, he's like a pretty boy in the school who nobody would ever guess likes anime, but he watches that shit regularly. It's interesting. And this chick right here, she's clueless. She knows nothing about anime whatsoever. But their love, like all the other fanatics that she hangs out with, their love gets her pumped. Like the fact that they get excited gets her excited about it. So she's like the glue that like keeps them together, because they like argue and shit about it, and they bitch at each other about what's better, anime or the manga, and you know, shit that's good or bad about a show. They argue about that, and she like, why don't y'all just like fucking love everything? And sometimes they do tell her to shut the fuck up, because that's not a solution in most cases. But it's a good show about like some real life conversations and shit that you probably had with people about anime. It's pretty good. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. Don't worry, man. There's a fuck ton of shows that I have on my list that I am going to watch at some point. Because, I mean, I'm never going to stop. I don't think I'm ever going to get sick of anime, because there's too many different stories and too many things that has either inspired me or just made me interested. I haven't seen D. Gray Man either. Yeah, I felt like it was up your alley. It's pretty good, man. The underlying story, basically like what's going on and why, or each individual character's backstory is what makes it very interesting. I haven't watched that yet. I think I've seen it a few times, like the title and the picture, but I've never actually watched that show. How do you feel about traps on anime? Dude, like they get really in depth on each one of their individual backstories, and it's good, dude. It's so good. Like hearing about each one of these characters and what motivates them and why is fucking fascinating, because they're all so interesting. There is not one character in this show that doesn't have like a very interesting backstory. And some people they dabble in more than others. Like there are some characters where they just like, as a matter of fact, and then there are other characters that they really get into their past and like the reason why they're there and what they're doing, and it's fucking crazy. Especially Monkey, Tiger, Ox, Rat, Monkey, Tiger, Ox, Rat, and Chicken. They are all of their fucking backstories are crazy. Like they were the most interesting characters in the show to me. They didn't really get into Rabbit's backstory, even though you don't really need to know a lot about him, because it's insane. But yeah, you need to check that out. Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Satsu, I believe Promised Neverland is getting an anime. I'd recommend it if you haven't read the manga. I have to check that out. I'm not addressing Boku no Pico. It's just, we don't talk about that at all. As a matter of fact, I'm going to censor that out. So that way nobody has to witness such a horrible spectacle. I've never watched it in full myself, but somebody tricked me into watching a clip. Unfortunately, it was quite a traumatic experience. But no, we ain't playing them games. Fuck off with that shit. I am not about that life. But you love those heartwarming love animes. Yeah, whatever. What the fuck ever. Fuck you, dude. No, I am so good on that. Sweetness and Lightning, yes. Dude, I actually got, like, the first issue of that story in a loot crate. And I read it, and I was like, oh, man, this is pretty fucking good. So I watched the show. That is one of the cutest, most adorable fucking shows ever. That show was awesome. I really liked Sweetness and Lightning. Plus, it was a food porn show, which I also like. I like food and fucking cute kids. The show, like that little girl, she is so fucking adorable. And just like the whole fact that we had like a single dad just trying to figure out like how to make his daughter happy since his wife died, and that's all he wanted. Like he just was like, how do I make this child happy? I don't know, like how to. I'm on my own. How do I figure this shit out? Like it was a very it was a heartwarming story. Bible Black is porn. Yes, Bible Black is porn, and it's fucked up. Don't watch it. Was watching the anime Akidiris Lost Pause. Oh yeah. Ugh. It's tech anime. Yeah, okay. Why are you trying to traumatize people, man? We're trying to bring people into the fold, and you're fucking trying to traumatize people. I haven't watched a lot of it. I haven't read a lot of manga. Came into it's fucked up. Don't watch it. Sums up anime. Fuck you, Ranting Monkey. How dare you? Monkey a hater. Have you ever watched Cowboy Bebop? Yes, I have. I've watched Cowboy Bebop, and it is an excellent show. If you like that show, you should start watching this new show that came out called Megalobox. It has almost the exact same art style as Cowboy Bebop. Seiko no Quasar. I did watch that. That show is silly as fuck, man. I never watched it in the company of other people because it was just... It's not something you want to get caught watching. But, oh my god. I couldn't stop. Like, it was one of those shows that I was like, I shouldn't be watching this. Like, this show is so fucking ridiculous. But I couldn't stop because the story was actually interesting. Don't ask me why. I couldn't stop watching it. But it's one of those shows that you're just like, you don't tell people you like it or you've seen it. Because then they'll go look it up and they'll be like, something's wrong with you. And I'm like, yep, I'm sorry. But I watched the whole thing. Oh wait, let me turn live chat on. There's chat show. There's fucking messages showing up that I wasn't seeing. I think Ranting Monkey would like Desert Punk. Dude, I said the exact same thing. Dude, Stunlock. That's 2 people now that told Ranting Monkey he would like Desert Punk. That's 2 people now. Yeah, there has to be some truth in it. There's it's just 2 separate people. I didn't tell him about that shit, Monkey. If you've never watched Bebop, then I did answer. Oh, good. Oh, he said good answer. I thought he just said answer, and I'm like, but I did. I can't say that. I can't say if you've never seen it, you're not an anime fan, because there's a lot of new generation anime fans out there right now who were born in the like Naruto era. So we'll give them a shot. DBZ abridged. I like Rurouni Kenshin abridged, and I also like SAO abridged. SAO abridged is fucking hilarious. Attack on Titan abridged is pretty funny too. Yeah, SAO abridged is fucking hilarious. Voltron. I'm surprised you even watched that, Monkey. DBZ is barely an anime. You think so? I feel like it's anime enough. Oh, Megazord better than Voltron. Fight me. Oh shit! Didn't they have a fight? Wasn't that a thing? Log Horizon I recommend. Log Horizon is awesome. We talked about that one already, though. Let me see. The best line in that show. Monkey, get out of here. So, Monkey, tonight's Lords of the Night is going to be on Scribe's show, right? We're doing it on Scribe's channel? I just want to make sure that I got that right. Damn, Corey, that's not nice. That's not nice. Is it? Hold on, let me double check. Have you seen Afro Samurai? Of course, I've seen Afro Samurai. Afro Samurai was good. Samurai Champloo was good. Afro Samurai was good. I used to watch Rurouni Kenshin. I watched Tenchi Muyo. I watched the Inuyasha before I got annoyed and said, fuck this stupid ass show. What else? There's a bunch of old school shit I used to watch. Eureka 7 was my shit back in the day. Afro Samurai is horrible. It's not the best anime ever. Like, I didn't love it, but it was definitely, like, the blood and the shit was nice. Persona, the show, I like a lot, but I can't play the games. The shows are interesting, but they're not always my favorite. Like, the way the shows actually play out is kind of meh to me. But they're always pretty interesting, but the games, I can't get into the games. Yeah, I personally believe Samurai Champloo was a lot better than Afro Samurai. But I did like Afro Samurai. It wasn't bad. But it definitely wasn't like the greatest shit ever. One Piece was good for a while for me, but that's just got too many episodes. There's no way I'll catch it back up on One Piece. So I am fucking done with One Piece. I have no idea what else is going on. Because that's too much. I actually started over and watched Bleach from the very beginning a couple years back. Did Champloo ever get a series finale? I think it did. I wouldn't mind anime if it wasn't so damn weird. That's what makes it awesome, though. It's not shit that you're used to. If anime was basically just all the shit we see over here already, then nobody would really care about it. Because it's like, yeah, this is just the same shit we watch over here, but different. Slightly. But I like it because it's so weird. I appreciate it because it's different. One Piece is too damn long. That's just got... Yeah, there's like fucking 900 episodes and like 15 movies. Fuck that. I ain't got time for that shit. It's too much. It's too much. I like shit I'm used to. That's because you're old. Old people don't like change. He has a low is. How'd you fuck that up twice? I can't with confidence tell somebody that you told me to tell them they have a low IQ when you couldn't type it. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to tell them yourself. I can't. You fucked that up. Oh man, that's so funny. Autocorrect. Oh man, these streams are fun. I knew I was gonna definitely have a good time. Ranting Monkey, how much super chat would it take to sit through? Oh my god. I'd like to point out again, for everybody who wasn't here to see it, Randy dropped in earlier and dropped $200. So I just want to say thank you to Randy again, if he's still here. You are fucking awesome. And you're always looking out for me, and I appreciate that, buddy. But I don't know if everybody saw that. But Randy always showing out in the donation department. Let me see here. I'll probably buy you Divinity though, if you fucking play it with me, dude. I told you, if anybody buys me a game, I am obligated to play it with you. Not that I think I would dislike Divinity at all, because it looks awesome. So. See, I don't get caught up in like anime wars. Like I'm not one of those anime people that thinks that if people don't like what I like, then there is something wrong with them. Because I'm just like, the whole point that I got into anime and that I really enjoy it is because it's different. And I had to spend too much time just hiding the fact that I like anime from people who are around me in general, because people were always criticizing me about it. So I don't know. I don't get into that whole thing because it feels counterproductive to me, to tell other people that if they don't like what you like, then they have a problem, when the whole reason I had trouble watching anime is because people didn't like what I liked and it caused problems. So I don't subscribe to that, but it is what it is. But I also don't knock people who have fun doing that shit either. If that's your thing and you think it's fun, then do what you do, man. I just don't get, because like people get into it and they're like, "What side are you on?" And I'm like, I just like anime. I just like anime. That's all. So let me see. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up pretty soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream. If you guys have any suggestions for future streams, or any type of segments that you would like me to have in these streams, topics or whatever that you would like me to talk about, or anything like that, let me know, because we can do more than just me giving you information on anime that I think you should check out. So send me suggestions, whether it be on Twitter or in the Discord or whatever you'd like to do. And I would try to incorporate some of that stuff into these streams. I don't know how often I'm going to be doing them, but as long as you guys keep coming and telling me about them and talking about them and asking for these streams, then I will keep doing them. Because one of the main reasons that I kind of wasn't is because I didn't think a lot of people would participate. But if you guys enjoy these streams, then definitely let me know. You should make an Afrocentric anime and call it... Shut up. Shut the fuck up, monkey. Anime jihad. So, was that Jesus recreation? What's your point, huh? Oh, wait. What the hell is everybody... What are you guys talking about? I'm like trying to keep up with the fuckery going on in the chat, and I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I do know one thing. I am hungry as hell. I'm gonna go get me some food. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream. I'll see you guys on Lords of the Night over on Scribe's channel. No, I'm just kidding. It's gonna be on Monkey's channel. Monkey watched the Boondocks. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later.